Axel's Garage Southern Edition. We're in the Outer Banks, North Carolina, and the last day of family vacation is always a surprise. Good, Mom? Well, it's not a Morably family vacation if the shit doesn't hit the fan at the last day.
Curse in the first 30 seconds.
You know how many tools in your car?
What?
You know how many tools in your car?
No.
You already ruined the video.
What about from your battery thing the other day?
I took them out for a month. Steven broke his AC.
You broke it. Let me have it running full blast with the windows down.
It wasn't full
Here's the
blast.
second one. See the second one?
At this point, you're better off breaking
You
it.
feel it? No.
And now we're trying to fix it with a Leatherman.
We're not trying to fix it with a Leatherman.
We
We're gonna fix
are.
it with a Leatherman.
You can make yourself useful and go to Walmart and get the thing out you need.
Oh, your mother's ass. That hurt.
I want to know what you need to do a video on that, Rob.
What?
What a college kid should pack in their car for like a little toolbox kit. I think that would be a good one. There's a guy on TikTok that does that. He does like dad things for kids that don't have dads.
Robbie, you have a dad? You're a grown fucking man. Get a toolbox.
In fact, I'm gonna sweat my ass off.
We stopped for coffee at Duck's Cottage, and Steven's air conditioning decided to go.
No, the air conditioning didn't decide to
Oh.
go.
Robbie decided to break it.
I didn't break it.
The blower motor. Not the air conditioning.
did I
Not
break
the
it?
heat. The blower motor. The thing that blows the air.
Ah, got it. Understood now.
Did I break it? I don't think it worked before I got in.
It's great delay here.
Well, you should have been checking up on your car.
You check on wires?
I'm trying to disconnect up.
Did it work?
I didn't use it. I don't think so.
I got a meter.
That's why I didn't use it.
So you can get power.
So why wouldn't you
Yeah.
say something? That's got a meter.
12 volts.
12 volts?
12.6.
Turn it on. What's up? Is there an auto parts store where maybe they have the resistor?
It's not the resistor.
The wire is going into the resistor at 12 volts. When I plug it in, the resistor's not turning the motor on.
The wire is going into the resistor?
Yeah. It's the feed to the resistor to turn it on. You telling me I got 12 volts? I'm plugging it into the resistor. It's not. The resistor has a wire that goes to the motor on the back side. This resistor plugs in here. And it has 12 volts.
The resistor is getting 12 volts.
Yes.
So we don't know that the motor's getting 12 volts.
We don't know that the. Let's try
You
that.
gotta unplug the motor. That's what I thought you had unplugged.
That's the resistor. Go to the video where the guy changes the resistor. I'm sure he tells you how to take that.
Colleagues helping colleagues.
No, I was watching. There. To go to the motor, but it has a wire on it. Oh wait, hold on. That's the clip.
Which one?
Come on. That's the clip. That's the clip. Because the resistor clip goes into the resistor. That's the one that goes to the motor. So it has that little tail on it.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 prongs with a little tail. That's going to release from a push on the back. Or a push on the back side of it.
No, it looks like you're gonna pull it down.
You know what? Hold on. Before we do all that, see if it's consistently getting 12 volts. Here. Okay, good. 12.99. Blower motor?
Yep. Turn it off too. On?
13, yeah, 12.95.
Is that a good rate?
Yeah, we'll just get a blower motor. All right, so we're at a CarQuest auto parts store just on the mainland because they had a Napa in the Outer Banks in Duck, and the guy on the phone had a gazillion questions. We didn't think it was the right one, and he wanted, yeah, 150 bucks for a blow motor. Now I bought one of these blow motors. I Amazoned it. Yeah, it was like $45 for a 4-season with the cage. So, and it's sitting on the shelf in the garage. meant for the Avalanche because it was a squeaky blow motor. I just never got around to putting it in yet, and the thing took a dump, and it's 95 degrees out. So we're at a Car Quest, little mom and pop style auto parts store. They got one. It's $104, $109. I checked a couple of the big box ones that are still about 50 miles down the road, and they're all around the same price. So I guess that's retail for it, about 110 bucks. Yeah, 45 on Amazon. We're gonna go in and check it out. All right, so we got the old original. It's got a plug like that. This one, it's got a different plug. But if I turn it that way, it looks right. Yeah, it looks right. There's the tab. That's the mounting little tab thing, because it just snaps into place. So this one looks right. Okay. So, let's see what we can do here. So I am going to get a screw that fits something that fits that inside. First, let's plug it in and make sure it works.
It's off.
It works.
How is it on?
Go on the other side, Steve.
That's a little weird. No, don't touch anything. Don't open the door.
Don't open the door?
No. That is a little weird. That is weird. What is it on? Take the key out. Open the door. Shut the door. That is weird. Weird, weird, weird.
That's right.
Have power with the car off. We plugged it in and started going.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
What? Has power with the car off? Wait, hold on. If you plug it in right now, it'll turn on?
Yeah. Yeah. I tried that one. That one's dead. But the wire coming out has power.
Right now.
Right now. Car's off. Open the doors. Shut everything off. The HVAC is actually off.
Could the resistor have failed open? That's what burnt that up. Like maybe it has to see it and
That's what I'm saying.
kick it on.
HVAC on. HVAC on. Now turn it down all the way. The fan.
That resistor's failed open. That's what it is.
Never a dull moment. Hey, now we got a new memory. A story to tell.
It's got a beautiful scenic backdrop. You can get some B-roll right here. If you really pan out to that and be like, wish we could work a shop like this at home. Beautiful scenery.
That's a nice house out there.
A little bit of America. That's it. Simple. What?
I think that's different.
We're gonna go find out.
That's what they call a flux capacitor.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the old motor was dead. So we got the new motor, plug it in, and it's live the whole time. As soon as there's a fuse in, key doesn't have to be on, it's live. So we're just gonna go with it on high.
Can you control the blower if you lower the...
It's on the lowest level.
Go all the way up. Alright, good. It works.
Works.
Great.
I can just raise the temperature.
You can just close the vents.
Well, that too, but I'm saying you can raise the temperature.
You can't even close the vents.
You're gonna get a call in 5 hours. It's so loud in here. Mark, Dad, make it stop.
Not me.
Yeah, it's gonna be Emily. What do we do?
What did we do? Well, we put a new blower motor in because this one was definitely not working. The problem was, when we tested it, yeah, we had 12 volts to the blower motor, but apparently we got 12 volts high all the time. Engine off, key off, can't control it. So we're guessing that the resistor is messed up. So we went in to get another resistor. They have 2 of the possible 6 that this vehicle might take, and neither of those 2 would work. So we need to look for a resistor. The resistor's getting 12 volts in all the time, which we think is proper, but it shouldn't be sending 12 volts out all the time. We tried pulling the fuses and the relays out to see if it might have to reset the control module, or his control module could be bad. Could have 2 problems, we don't know. But either way, we got a blower motor in there so that it's going to blow on high the whole trip, even when he turns the car off, but he'll get home with air conditioning. All right, so we got AC blowing for Emily.
For me?
So that she's nice and cool.
I did.
You didn't ask? Did you want to sit in here with no AC for 8 hours?
No.
Okay.
It was like I
So
got
the
out of the
AC's blowing
shower.
on high. It seems high is the only fan speed you're going to get. So you might have to lower your vents. You could turn your vents off if you start to get frostbite. I don't even know if they did an intro. The kids started filming all on their own. Did you do an intro?
Kinda did, but you can't say shitstorm or shit show, supposedly. Amanda said you can't in the first.
5 minutes you get to monetize.
All right. We're leaving it with whatever they did because I don't even know what they did. That's it today. We'll link everything we tried to use and use in the description below. All right, so Steven made it home, driving with the fan on high the whole time. He pulled the fuse out for the fan, and that's where we sit now. So we just put the fuse back in. That's a big 40 amp maxi fuse in the underhood fuse panel, and we put it back in. And what I have here, and I'll grab the camera from Steve-O, you have 3 wires that are going into your we're going to call it the resistor module, because it's really not like it's a blower motor resistor, but it's a computerized module. You got a power feed coming in, you got a ground coming in, and then you got a 5-volt reference in the middle of the 2. Now how this system works is it sends that 40 amp line, comes all the way into here, and then comes out of here through this harness that's in the back of it, and goes and feeds your blower motor. Now this is hot all the time. This shouldn't be hot all the time, and it is. That's why the blower motor's on even with the car off. But with the ignition on, you can test to make sure that your HVAC module isn't bad, that the signal coming to this resistor is correct. And what you do is, and I'm using a paper clip as a T-tap, I'm back probing the center terminal, which is our 5-volt reference, and Steven's got the fan. Steve, where's your fan speed? Is at the lowest setting. So looking DC voltage, lowest setting, we got 5.2, let's call it 5.23 volts. And as he starts to raise his fan speed, he's going to raise it, you're going to see it's going to drop. And he's going to put it all the way up to the highest, and it's going to go to about 1.7 volts. That's telling us that the HVAC module in the dash right there is good, and it's giving the right reading to the blower motor resistor module, or whatever they call it nowadays. I'll link this new one in the description below. Now when you go to buy one, there's a gazillion options. There's RPO codes. You got to make sure you get the right one. For this vehicle, it had to be auto climate control with heavy duty auxiliary heat, which is an RPO code. But we got the right one. We got it from Standard, the brand, Standard Motor Products or whatever it is, but Standard is the brand. I'll link that also in the description below. The blower motor that we picked up from a CarQuest auto parts store, I'll link a 4 Seasons one on Amazon. That's a hell of a lot cheaper. We paid 110 bucks for that new blower motor that just, you know, you saw when I did it. Hopefully, we don't know what that video looks like yet, but it just like turns and snaps into place. There's no hardware or anything like that, no screws, no bolts, no nuts, no nothing. It clips right in, easy swap, you plug the harness in and it works. So now we got this problem here. The problem is it's not a straightforward swap, and we'll show you why. So what we have here are two 6mm headed screws, and we're going to take this down and I'll show you what we have to do. In the meantime, Stephen will go pull that fuse so our battery doesn't go dead, and I'll get this out using these two, and I'll be able to show you what we have to do. And I'm having trouble with the 6. I bet it's a 5.5, which I don't have. Yeah, of course. Why would it be easy? 5.5mm. Why do they do that?
So you have to buy another thing.
I think there's a standard. It could be like 7/32. We'll figure that out just for this video. All right, so this is our old one. So the old one, you had your harness with your power, your ground, and your 5-volt reference going into here, and then it had a gazouter, and this gazouter goes into the blower motor. Now, whether you have a tail on your blower motor or this is mounted in the side of the blower motor, it's the same tail. It's going to go right in and feed your blower motor. This is what's bad. They usually corrode really bad. This one's not too bad, but something in the computer module itself went bad. And if you do notice on this, there is a rubber seal so that it seals up that hole, because this is a hole in your ductwork if you don't have it in there. Good. So now let's go get the new one and we'll show you what the new one does. All right, here's our new one. It's an RU631 for our application. Your application might be similar but completely different. So most of these, depending on your application, and there are quite a few different ones, it's going to look a lot different. So this one, instead of having 3 wires going in and 2 wires coming out in a different spot, has just a 5-wire going in thing, and that's because they redesigned how it's supposed to go. So what happens is you get a wire harness in the bag. Oh, and they give you new screws too. I wonder if they're 5.5mm also. So now this wire harness, right, is going to change it to all to 1. So it's going to go in right like this. It only goes in one way, and you have your feed for your blower motor, right, that would have came out of this side of the other one. So here's the other one, right? And then you have your 3 wires going in that are supposed to plug in. What they want you to do is cut the factory harness, cut that plug, the gazinta, off, and you're going to splice these in, right? There's your 5-volt reference, your ground, and your power. There are some big, thick wires. These are like number 10 wire. There's some big, heavy wires coming in and out. But almost all of them use the redesign, and even the mounting on it, you'll see they put it so that it'll fit multiple mountings. So you got to figure out which hole you're going to use. But that's the way the redesign is. And almost all of them, just make sure you get the right one for your vehicle, but the redesign, they're all going to be pretty similar. So what do we have to do now? We have to come down here, right? And we are going to peel back some of this factory tape that's on there. We'll get rid of that, and we got to cut this off. So none of the ones that we're going to use are going to take this anymore. So we're just going to clip it real down low so we got enough slack to work with. All right, and then we got our old clip off, so this can go in the garbage. All right, and now what we have to do is do some stripping and soldering. All right, this is not this is a 40 amp circuit. The blower motor does about 13-14 amps. So 13 or 14 amps coming through here. That's why the heavy wires, factory wires, are number 12s, and the number 10s on the other one. And it looks like that's an 18 on that one. What I did was I got the wires pushed in on each other nice so that they're intermingling, going through each other. Now I'm going to use the low temp solder connectors I like to do is just keep going around it, around that solder band until you see it start to melt into the wires. And it does take a couple seconds when it finally reaches the melting temperature of that solder. You'll see it. That's why you can see how the solder melted on top and bottom of the band and got into the wires, and then I heated up the two ends, which are to make it watertight. And I'll just do the same thing with the power line and with the 5-volt reference. I also have some heat shrink down over here, and I'll show you at the end. Once it cools down, we'll put the heat shrink on. Let me go refill my butane. Okay, so we got our 3 wires, our ground, our power, and our 5-volt reference. And now all I'm gonna do is just slide the heat shrink over. This heat shrink kit that I got from somewhere, it's like a short one, so what I do is I use 2 of them. And I go right to there, so it's gonna cover past the connector. And I'll take the second one, go over the first one. The breeze will start up when I go to use the lighter. And I'm going to put the heat shrink on all of them just like that. Okay, now I can take my adhesive backed rubber gasket, put it right on. This is going to get plugged in like that. I'm going to make sure it plugs in nice while I have it out. So now we knew the 6mm was sloppy. Yeah. So the new screws don't even come close in the 6mm. The old screws, you could sort of get away in the 6mm. I am going to stick with the original screws, which we know is probably a 5.5, but I'm guessing right there. So the 5.5mm screw is a 7/32. I think that's what I guessed earlier, wasn't it, Steve?
Correct.
Okay, so now we are going to put our resistor up. It's got a bunch of different holes, so we're going to try to find the right hole. And we got that snugged up. Now I can connect the blower motor. Did you ever take the fuse out?
I did.
All right, blower motor's connected. Thing is connected. Let's, Steve, I'll go put that fuse back in. Fuse is in. Mm-hmm. And the blower motor's not on because it's not supposed to be on. Isn't that great? All right, turn the key on. Nice. All right. Now you could zip tie these wires up and out of the way. It's really not necessary here because this bottom panel is gonna hold everything back together. There's 7mm. Finding the hole sometimes could be the hardest part with this panel. All right, that's it. Over the road temporary fix and an at-home permanent fix. We'll link everything we used in this video that went all over the place in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching.